The return of my Coin Lady channel brings me much joy. As I mentioned yesterday, the CPI data is the root reason of the market downturn. Great work using Xrp. From a macro perspective, their charts appear to be indistinguishable as Hbar and the roof. Look at these three charts that are displayed on the screen. Examine XLMs, come on over here. Here we see the location of Xrp and the movement of Hbars. Their appearance is same. Do not try to convince me that the cryptocurrency markets are currently controlled by bots and algo trading. So, why were all three of them identical? It was in yesterday's video that I mentioned it. This is exactly what would happen, and it's happening in real life. The SEC case against Ripple should be dropped. Give those exchange-traded funds the go light. Wear fresh garments. My darling, we're about to become famous. Yeah. I adore the zeal. The SEC has said that they are halting their action against Binance, which is huge news that I will share with you as soon as they begin to halt other cases. Litecoin, Bitcoin, Xlm Hbar, and 2593 XB are all in a downward spiral. Why? Statistics on consumer prices are relevant. This video is where I informed you about the pause with the SEC, followed by my discussion of CPI expectations and the market's reaction. To top it all off, the market is mirroring my predictions. Following the announcement's inevitable overreaction, the market will begin to rise to unprecedented heights. What transpired? Oh, the Consumer Price Index reveals a 3% rise across the board. Food and energy weren't quite as bad, but otherwise, everything was terrible. I hated housing, and indeed, the viewers are correct when they zoom out and examine this. 1,234 consecutive months of rising CPI did. Listen, there are some more significant news stories floating around. However, the global markets are going to feel significant economic pressure from macros if CPI continues to rise at its current rate. When I say markets, I don't simply mean cryptocurrency. World trade centers. When it comes to hedging against inflation and storing value, gold will do better, whereas crypto and other risky investments will. This is what you see. Now look at this. Look at the market cap of all coins. 100, can you see it? I've got another amazing chart for you. This is merely a very brief descent. It was a universal reaction in the market. The VPI data came in at 3.0, an increase of 1 point over the previous month, and it's quite frustrating that all this trade action has been mishandled. You can see it now that you're digging deeper. We have food up there. We are aware of that. We are aware of the cost of eggs. Tariffs are at your disposal and may further exert price pressure. Rents were soaring. As I mentioned before, energy was the most delicate of the bunch. That, my friend, is really terrible. By the way, you can find links to everything in this video and all of my others below. You can start drilling down into the CPI data by clicking on it and then selecting one of these bar charts from the page that appears. Take, for example, the following. If I click on everything, I'll use less food and energy. If I go to services, I can see that transportation, housing, and healthcare are all improving. Additionally, all of this can be magnified. The commodities are suddenly down when you get into energy, aren't they? Your natural gas and oil, but your services are up. Okay. So, keep in mind that you have the option to drill down into that data. A juicy one at that. The coin market cap is 100 now, and I wanted to show you this exact thing. Appreciate this. Upon the release of the data, the market immediately responded. Are you saying that a group of traders were like, yo, I'm ready to sell, at 8:30 in the morning Eastern Time? I'm sorry, but I must correct you. To sell, CPI is better. No. Oh my. This is all being done by bots, and I really hope that the regulators step in and address it, because bots are a major issue in the cryptocurrency industry. Completely manipulative, since there's no realistic possibility that Xlm Hbar and Xrp holders throughout the globe were all thinking simultaneously about the same thing. Keep in mind that these numbers are to inflation in the United States, but you're insinuating that this prompted a response from throughout the globe. Oh, please. In spite of a 12% increase, the overall amount of BS in the last 24 hours is a meager 107 billion. Panic and avarice. It's all right with us. Over here. With a market worth of 3.1 trillion BTC, we are now dominating. The main story, though, is the crypto market's weakness. We are going to face a major issue if this continues to rise. Now look at what occurs when I extend this out to 5 years. As you can see, inflation spiked during the global shutdown. What transpired with supply chains is known to us. Greed is what led to this. Everything that transpired with Rome, Powell, and other feds around the world pilfering money is known to us. There was a wild spike in CPI inflation figures, and then things started to slow down. This in no way indicates that prices fell on this particular chart. That it's not climbing at the same rate is all it means. Essentially, this is the procedure to follow. Take this 3% increase in January 2025 as an example. When you add it to the 3.1 for January 2024, you get 6.1. When you add it to January 2023, you get 6.4, which is 12.5. Suddenly, when you add that 12.5 to everyone's 7.5, you get 20% price increases since January 2022. The answer is no, prices are not going up by 3%. It would be 3% on top of what they were last year. Revise last year's work. I think you understand. It merely signifies that our ascent will be less steep. The incline is shallower. However, observe the outcome. Am I correct in assuming that we had it at one height? Having peaked at 9.1, we have since declined. Everyone was starting to get pumped up. As soon as the markets began to defrost little, we began to rise again. As you can see, we are unable to dissect this. We still have a ways to go, but the Fed has set a target of 2.0. If I were to magnify this 3-year period right now. Appreciate this. Presenting you with version 2.0. Even with all this time, we still haven't come very near. As I mentioned before, that activity continued for 4 consecutive months, and the closest we came was in September of 2.4. XLM shows a 369 million increase in volume. Reactions to the same overall price action for Superb appear to be somewhat weak, though. The price has been steadily declining over the past month. Actually, the first surge for Great has been the most robust if we examine the initial surge, beginning with the November election. It has experienced some brief recoveries, but it is gradually resuming its role as a market laggard. Examine the H-bar now. Take a look at this H-bar chart. Things are looking a little bit different now, but the downward trend is back, and it has broken through some of the levels we were expecting to maintain. The current volume of the actual cryptocurrency is around 290 million, and many players are predicting that it will drop much further as a result of a large selling at prices below 20 cents per bar. Consider XRP now, shall we? Every day, we discuss the same response. You can see a significant change when you examine the XRP chart for a month. This is where I will do it. For 3 months, I will invest in Hbar, Stellar, and XRP. You can tell these 3 are different, can't you? So far, so good. A month's worth of Hbar is comparable. A little more of a benchmark is available for XRP. So, we're basically following the same pattern as this down step, but there are also several areas of escalation and price rises. Here, XRP is holding its own a bit better, moving sideways. The market is content to maintain XRP's current price range of $23.50, but I did say that I would share your initial thoughts for a reason, didn't I? Life has been speaking precisely what I've been feeling, whether it's hot, spicy, wicked, or inconsequential. You have a plethora of significant upcoming events. ETFs are at your disposal. There's the Ripple case you have. In terms of XRP, you have a plethora of positive news that will help the alts, and some major particular news that will help XRP holders. I appreciate you taking the time to watch my video. Thank you for watching my channel and for subscribing. I will see you later.